So we're just gonna dive right in. So we're gonna make a pumpkin ganache. I'm gonna use these pumpkin coating wafers. I looked up pumpkin ganaches. I was really excited about it. Everyone's recipe includes cream cheese and canned pumpkin, which sounds amazing, but is a far cry from something that you can gift to somebody because they are not shelf stable. They have to be refrigerated, and we need to be practical about giving people gifts that are not going to make them ill. Details. Anyway, so this is a pumpkin spice flavored coating, and it is absolutely nailed it. It's a really good one. I've got 8 ounces of this, and we're gonna chop it up and we're gonna make a ganache. So coating tends to melt at a higher temperature than real chocolate. That's part of its nature. And so I'm gonna chop this up really fine. And when we make a ganache and I boil the cream, I boil the cream to denature it, to make it so that it's shelf stable for at least 2 to 3 days. But you don't pour the boiling cream over the chocolate coating, over the chocolate, because that will, the chocolate can't deal with that. That's too hot, and it'll make your ganache separate, and then there's angst and gnashing of teeth and all bad things. So I'm gonna break all those ganache rules, and I'm actually going to pour boiling cream over these because these suckers really don't like to melt, but they are really delicious, and so we want to use them. So I'm gonna chop them up fine, and then we're gonna throw them in a bowl and chuck some boiling cream over them. But this is gonna give me smaller pieces to have to melt, and also allow the cream to get in there and permeate. And again, it's coating, so if it doesn't melt all the way through, it's okay to microwave it for a second, which I would not do with real chocolate ganache either. So I don't know if this is close enough. We're in it together, we're finding out. So that's 8 ounces. I'm gonna get this into a bowl. I like to do it in a fairly large bowl because you don't want this to be all piled into on top of each other. You want it to have some space in between. So there. We're gonna do 1/4 cup of cream, heavy whipping cream. 1/4 cup. Oh, right. And it's literally gonna take about 30 seconds in the microwave. So I'm gonna have everything else at the ready. Got plastic wrap and cream. So here we go. 30 seconds in the microwave, and now you watch it like a hawk, because as soon as it starts boiling, it boils over. As a technical culinary term, by the way. And there she goes. So we're gonna pour this over, make sure it's in there, and all of it is. So that's where if you did a shallow bowl, it's not a smaller bowl, it's not gonna get all the chocolate. And then I'm gonna throw a little piece of plastic wrap. You can throw just a dish over it if you want, and let it sit for about another 30 seconds and let that cream do its work. Where to put my whisk? So give it a wiggle. I'm not patient. That wasn't exactly 30 seconds. And you know what? I made that up anyway. So it's a made up number. And then look at that. Hello, beautiful. And then we're just gonna whisk it. And you can see there's some lumps in there, but the residual heat from the rest of that cream. Oh, look at that. Oh my God. Dudes, beautiful. That, my friends, is a beautiful pumpkin ganache. So I'm gonna set this aside because we don't want it this hot when it goes into our chocolate shells, or it's gonna melt them. So we basically want it to be roughly like room temp when it does that. So I'm just gonna throw my plastic wrap back over this again, and we're gonna start making our shells. We're gonna make our little potion balls. These are so cute. I thought pumpkin for this would be the way to go. You also could do anything boozy. Once you see the labels, it makes all the sense in the world. So this is our bottle mold. Makes a little mini, mega cute. It's a 3-part mold. We can put them together to make little stand-up bottles. I've not tried this before. This is the first time because I had this idea and I got a bug up my butt to do it. And anybody that follows us knows that I don't do anything. I just do everything right away because it's like, I'm not gonna come in here rehearsed and do it all perfect and flawless and whatever, and then hide any pitfalls that happens. So this way you learn with me if there's a problem and how to fix it. Plus I'm impatient. Why would I want to do it twice? Ugh. So these are the icing sheets. Aren't they cute? And this is the mold. So I was thinking I want to have, since that's pumpkin spice, I want some of them to be in white chocolate and some of them to be in milk chocolate, which milk chocolate I was concerned about with the pumpkin spice, but I made Jenna eat some. You guys know Evil Cake Minion Jenna, I made her eat some and she was like, oh my God, that's really delicious. It's like a pumpkin spice latte. So I've got some milk chocolate here. That we're gonna do straight because it looks like brown bottles. Come on, perfect. And then I'm gonna do green coating wafers to make traditional green glass color. Now, this is too dark for traditional green glass. Say that, green glass color. I can't do it. You know what I'm saying. And so when you're doing this, we're gonna start with that much and then add just white coating. I sell 2 brands on the site. One is Merkin's, one is our house brand, and they're both excellent. Highly recommend them. And we're gonna just put that little tiny bit because it always surprises me how much color stays. So I'm gonna put this in the microwave. And yes, I can afford bowls. Please don't send donations because of my shoddy bowls. Yes, this is a deli cup. I think some delicious tabbouleh came in this. But if you microwave this stuff in glass, the glass can heat up and cause all sorts of issues. So I always microwave in plastic. I have yet to find nice plastic bowls. So I'm gonna throw this in for 30 seconds. And I need a spatula. No mise en place. This is my only clean spatula. It's a very old one. Don't judge. There, you can start a GoFundMe to get me a new spatula. So the first 30 seconds usually does not do much, but you want to stir it because chocolate and coating, as it melts, it doesn't look like it's melting. It holds its shape, and so you won't know that it's melted until you stir it with a really ugly, ancient spatula. All mine though. See what happens. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna get it, see if it's the color we want, and we can always add more green if we decide that it's not the color we want. So that was another 20 seconds, and look at that. So see, they look whole, but my microwave is really over hot. Pretty cute. I don't know, what do you guys think? Is that like glass? I think it can go a little darker. I'm gonna throw a few more of these in. That was more than a few. Put those out there. Let's try this much and see what it does. So I'm just gonna melt this with the residual heat from whatever else is in there instead of throwing it right back in the microwave, because if we throw it right back in the microwave, we could overheat our coating, and that just sucks because then it just gets hard to work with. So I think it will need a trip in there, but we're gonna give it a second to do its thing. That is chocolate. I think I was onto something. I think we want a little more. Right now, it's very pretty. It's like, it'd be a lovely spring green, but we need Halloween. So again, you can put more in, but you can't take it out. So I'm gonna throw this back in the microwave for like 2 seconds and see where we land. Okay, another 15. It's getting a little more bottly, but I don't think it's quite where I want it yet. What do you, now I wish I had a picture of like a glass bottle. It could work, but it is Halloween. So you know what? We'll go a little darker, and just a little. That's what I do, and then I go too far. And then I might as well not put the white in at all. But we're doing this. This is where we're stopping. Okay, so throw this back in. And whatever this is what we use. Because see, in there. Yeah, I don't want it to be the same color as the label, but this exact science is killing you, isn't it? I think that's about right. And by the way, make things way brighter than they are. This is like a really nice sage green. And it looks like a massive, like this on the screen is the color I want. You know what? We're gonna be fine, because even this looks like a traditional pale green glass bottle. Okay, see, that's nice and smooth now. Ready to go. We'll throw it in a pastry bag. And meanwhile, I'm melting my brown corn. My milk chocolate one is right in the bag. So just throw the bag in the microwave, 30 seconds. And usually, honestly, with my microwave, enough. You want to stop when you can feel a few globs in there, and you just use the residual heat to melt the rest of the globs. So yeah, I was ready to roll because it wasn't a lot either. So throw this back in the nuker so it stays nice and warm. We bag this other stuff up. So this is kind of a fun little tip. I've shown it in other videos before when I had this out. This is the sleeve part of the Wonder Cup that I use for measuring peanut butter and stuff. It works really nicely to fill in pastry bags because it's narrow. And you can just put it on like that, and then you don't have to worry about trying to hold it open and all that. So there we go. We got our green. And it also will hold it for me so I don't spill it all over the place. That's kind of nice too. So I'll give it like this and then hit that. And that's ready to roll. Okay, let's clear this off for 1 second because I made a mess. Okay, these are 3-part molds. This is what they do. Have the inner mold, and they have these little silicone doojobbies. Have all of mine? Yes. They're hard to see. Don't throw them away when you unpack it. A lot of people like throw them away thinking it's part of the packaging, but it's an integral part of this mold. You need these. Don't chuck them. There's a line on these. It's very subtle, but in person you'll see it. There's a line right here down at the bottom that tells you how far to fill the mold to make it a perfect hollow shell. Overfill, it's no big deal. It's okay. They'll just overflow. 90% of mine are overflowed because I'd rather have a little too much and have a messy edge than not have enough and have a half bottle. If you actually pay attention to this, these things are spot on. This is like my mold company. Okay, I'm gonna make, I make chocolate. So this will be our brown bottle. That's one. I'm gonna do 2 brown bottles and 1 green. So I'm tapping it out so I can see where I'm at with that line. And yes, as I always do, I overfilled. So they're gonna be oozing all over the place, but that's fine. And we'll do this. Now, obviously I can come back and make more. I made way too much green chocolate for a demo, but I think you get it. So put it in there. Okay. And then if you haven't done this before, this is, you put these in, those little guys. And that's gonna force the chocolate to where it needs to go. And then this part goes in here, push down, and then you flip it over and push. And you can see all this chocolate oozing out means that Robin panicked and overfilled them. Look at that. But it's okay. Overfilling, again, I own my decision. Overfilling is better than underfilling because we'll just be able to break this off of the edge, but we actually will have complete bottles. Push it down like this. We're gonna throw it in the freezer. Check it to make sure everything's happy. We've got chocolate everywhere. And I'm gonna throw these in the freezer. I'll be right back. So while those are in the freezer, we're gonna cut our labels. So this is one of our little icing sheets, and it comes on an acetate back, and then you just peel it off. They are a little thick and they are shiny on the back. A lot of people think that there's another thing they have to peel off, but there's not. So don't worry about it. Let's see, so we need 6 bottles. No, 6 halves. So we're only gonna have 3. So, oh man, this is gonna be tough. I definitely wanna do, well, you gotta do the poison one. That was my original. The whole purpose of doing this design was because I wanted to have poison for friend candies. So I'm gonna cut this. And I sized these specifically for these mini bottles. If you want to do half bottles instead of doing stand-up bottles, you can just trim off the excess and they're just as cute. So do this. I think I'm gonna do Black Widow Venom, Batwing Tonic, and Poison because the Love Potion is adorable. Love Potion number 9. But my audience in this neighborhood is a bunch of really teens and tweens. So I think that could cause all sorts of embarrassment and giggles. Maybe I should do it. Let's see. So we're just giving these a little slice, and then they should be ready when we're ready. So you pull them off. You see there's a little white on there, so I'm gonna cut a little bit more because I don't want the white border. But the happy news is when we're done with this, our bottles should be set up. So let's see. Black Widow. Yeah, there's a little white on that side, so it wouldn't be the end of the world if it had a little white room. And actually probably have it pop off nicer, but we got freezer time to kill. So I'm using 3 of these. The rest of them have to go back into the Ziploc that they came in, especially closer to Halloween when it starts to get cold. These will dry out and crack if you don't keep them airtight. So always keep them, when you're not using them, keep them in the Ziploc and keep the Ziploc locked. So we are set for that. I'm going to now chuck my ganache into a bag. And hopefully it's cool enough. So let's look. Oh, look at that. That is beautifully ready to pipe. You could do this same ratio and the same recipe with any of our flavored coatings. I think that the salted caramel coating wafer would make an absolutely amazing filling. So if any of you guys try that out, please let me know. This is perfect piping consistency. And it's super room temp, so it's not gonna melt our chocolate, so we're good to go. Cool, let's see if our little bottles are ready to come out yet. So here they are. You can hear creaking. Can you hear that? That usually means they're pretty set up and ready to go, but I will give you a couple of other tests. So you take this one out, and then I usually will take out the inner liner, the silicone liner, while these are still in the mold. The silicone liner is going to stick. That's its job. I've had a bunch of people that have emailed me and said, oh my God, they're sticking, I don't know what to do. No, they're supposed to stick to this silicone mold. There you go. And then you see this little extra on the top there, don't worry, we're gonna put that to good use. So you can just break it off like that, but trust me, hang tight. And I'm gonna grab my chocolate gloves because I don't want these to melt while I'm handling them. Plus, I feel like a lady in these. I know, that's what all of you think of when you think Evil Cake Genius is lady. All right, so just be gentle. They will come out. And all the part that's breaking off is supposed to break off. See, because there's a rim there. So then these are gonna end up going together and making little 3D bottles. Super cute. That's gonna be adorable. See? Again, you can just use them as, if you wanna do them just like in a cute little package, like one of our butter boxes, you can do them laying flat. It'd be just as cute. But I'm kind of a sucker for the 3D because I wanna put them out on a little cake plate at my Halloween party. Oh. With those liners, and then here's our green glass. Look how shiny that is. They look like glass. I do really love that about chocolate coating. It's got such a good sheen there and over. I think these are gonna be my favorite of the year. I can say it right now. So we got those. I am gonna chuck them back in here, just so that they don't roll around when I'm trying to tap them. And my question is, will they be able to, seeing if I get this one hot and I push it in there, is it gonna fit? And it will. So that's gonna help us too, to align them once I'm putting them back together. So you can see, we're gonna heat up 1/2 and push it in here. And it's gonna, and the hot part, the melted part on that chocolate is going to make these go back together. So I only need 1/2 in each of these bottles. And then these are going to be their friends. And now our pumpkin ganache. This, again, if you're having more of a grown-up party, you can do something boozy. And you can go a little above because there's curve on this. So those are filled. You know what else? It might be kind of cute to do this. One of them was bat, wasn't it? Black Widow Venom, bat wing. I got these new sprinkles from Sprinks. This is really cute. Let me throw a couple bats in the bat wing one. Look how cute. Where's my sprinkle cloth? Oh my God, we could put eyeballs in some too. That would be really cute. So we'll throw bats in some of them. And then, well, let's do some bloodshot eyeballs in some. Why not? Live a little. What else is in here? There's a skull for sure. Cool. So let's throw a bloodshot eyeball in this one and a skull or two in this one. Mega cute. Because why not? Right? It's Halloween. You can get it as gruesome as you want. We'll put 2 bats. So now I'm gonna heat up a cake pan and get my chocolate glove back on and I'll show you. Why should I tell you? My God, keep them in suspense, Robin. Where's my cake pan? So I'm just going over to the sink here and I am running hot water over this cake pan. So this is a very warm cake pan. And we're just gonna put it on that hot pan and you see what's going on? It's already melted. and then we throw it on top of this, and the mold helps us to get them together in the right way. So there's no guesswork. You don't want to be too shy with this because this is what's sticking them together. So get in there and push them. And is this still hot enough? Not hot enough. I'm gonna do it again. Drying it off. It's really hot. It's hard to hold. Here we go. Get it melty. Make sure it's doing it on both sides. Chuck it in here and make sure they're attached. Push them together. Now, if they don't totally attach, it's okay. We can fill in with a little chocolate after the fact. But this is definitely the easiest way to get these to attach. I'm gonna throw them. You can see from the side to see if they're attached, and they look really cute. Oh my God, these are so cute. I'm gonna throw them in the freezer, just make sure that they're attached, and I'll be right back. So we are back from the fridge, and see if these guys are attached nicely. I could have done this before I started the video, I guess, but hey, here's one, super cute. Oh my God, these are so cute. So there we go. We got cute little bottles that stand up all by themselves. Oh my God. I don't think that could be any cuter. I really don't. I challenge you to make a cuter bottle. But we're not done. That's true. We're gonna make them cuter. Ha! Challenge accepted. So what I wanna do first is I want the caps on these to be gold. So not a lot of paints will work on chocolate, but I have found that our activator will. So what I'm gonna use is a little bit of activator, some in here. Oh my God, could that be harder to squeeze? Nice hands, Robin. Sorry about that, nice carpal tunnel, Robin. And then I'm gonna take our CG Sunny Gold and throw a little in here. See if I can find a paintbrush in this joint. All right. So we're gonna mix it up until it's pink. So it's still a little liquidy. I want it to be a little thicker paint than that, so just put a little more in. And just eyeball it. There we go. It should feel like paint, not water. One more tiny little bit. So the lesson here is, first of all, thank God these come in giant containers. And second of all, use less activator than you think you need. But the nice thing is, once the activator, if you just wrap any leftovers of this, just wrap this thing with plastic wrap, you can reconstitute it. So it's not like you're throwing away the stuff you're not using, because that would not be good. Take this guy and we're just gonna paint the top. Oh, that's so cute. Sorry. I'm trying to see what I'm doing at the same time as letting you see what I'm doing. And that sometimes is a conflict of interest. That's cute. So there, now we've got proper bottle caps. I don't know about you, but my potion better have a cool label and a cool bottle cap. Got a little floppy, got a little carried away on that one. That's okay. This can be a safety sealed one. We'll make that one poison. That's kind of cute when it comes down, actually. I kind of like that. See, it's like Bob Ross. It's a happy little accident. Last one. So again, this is just activator and our shiny as hell gold. I'm sorry, yes, shiny as hell. Sunny gold. Get with the program, Robin. I'm going lower on this one too, because I think it's cute. You can see it better. Stripey. Oh, that went too low. That's fine. You know what? This one's gonna have like a whole, this one we're gonna go all the way down. Like a fancy, this is fancy potion. That's cute too. There, why not, right? Happy little accident, people. That's cute, see? These would make adorable little anythings, by the way. They'd make really cute little champagne bottles, little beer bottles. But for our purposes today, we're doing potion. Wicked sticky. This is our edible glue. You do not want to use too much of this because moisture is the enemy of these little icing sheets. When you put them on buttercream, they literally become one with the buttercream. They dissolve into it, which is cool and it's awesome. And you can't even tell that when it's buttercream, you can't even tell that there's a texture. But if you're not careful, it'll bubble up and do terrible things. So we're just gonna use the minimal amount on this. I think this is the first time, I just got these in today, by the way. And I couldn't wait. So now we know legit. I just guessed on the, oh my God. I'm gonna make these all the time. So this gives me an idea now where I should cut it so that they meet. So roughly there. Oh my God, those are so cute. And they want to stick, so you really don't need much. Now, can I see? You can't really see where I marked it, so I'm just gonna cut some random off and we'll figure it out later. That's kind of more how I roll. We can overlap a little bit if we want it to, so let's get it like there. And then we'll use this to mark the others. Where's my ruler at, man? Make sure we're not too short before I cut all of them. Oh no, that's got a nice little overlap, so we're good. I can even take a tiny bit off because I would like them to meet up perfectly, but I'm not gonna actually measure or anything. It's just not happening. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip these bad boys over and we're gonna put a little bit of edible glue on the back of them. So I need a paintbrush. I need a different paintbrush. I'm just gonna grab a little piece of wax paper to make sure I'm not setting this upside down in something that I shouldn't, because I've had chocolate and everything on here. So I'm gonna take a little bit of this is our edible glue, and we're going to, you really barely need any, you just pretty much need it on the ends. But I'm gonna brush it until it's pretty much gone. We don't want this to be a thing. Black Widow. Let's do Black Widow on this one. So we'll center here. This to be the front. That's a better front. So cute. So there we go. And the back is sealed, and we have little Black Widow venoms. Oh, I can't express to you how much this cracks me up. Let's do it with our poison labels. Again, not much. Brush that off. You don't need a bunch of it. It's mostly important on the edges. And I don't think I want on green. I don't know. Hold on, what do you guys think? I was thinking that the orange should be on the green. I can't decide. Damn it. That's cuter. I don't want it to be monochromatic. That's boring. Which side is a better one? There you go. They just attach. They grab on right away. They're super fast. Now you have a place that you can grab it, that you won't melt the chocolate. Oh my God, this is so cute. I can't even stand it. And then one more. That's really organized there. Again, little wicked sticky glue. Brush it on there, make sure we got the ends. Let's hit this. Pick the best front. So that, or that. I think this one. Don't put the bottle on, don't put the label on upside down because you're so excited. That would not be good. And there we go. Oh my God, I can't explain just how stupidly cute these are. Spooky. And the best part is when you bite into them, they are a pumpkin truffle, people. Pumpkin truffle. Adorable. There we go. Don't forget to check out our Halloween project page because I have tons of amazing projects and tons of new projects this year that I haven't even shot videos of. Wait until you see the preview of some of these amazing sheets. Here's a sneak preview of this one is s'more shaped. So it's for a chocolate covered s'more, but you can cut anything into a square and use it in that mold. That is our new Victorian Halloween. Can't remember what I called it. Gothic Halloween, something like that. I've got those, and then I have one that's specifically for s'mores. Super cute. And one more. You guys see one more. This one's for Nutter Butters. Isn't that just adorable? So stay tuned. Make sure to check out the project page. I will put a link to all the Halloween projects on the bottom of this page and all of our social media posts. And happy Halloween. So I got done with this, and then I was about to start cleaning up, and I hate cleaning up, so I will do anything to avoid cleaning up. But I just realized our edible ribbon would be really cool on this, and I don't have it here, but we have a new purple ribbon that will be perfect for this. So pretend that this is purple, but it's not gonna take much to go around these. So I think this would be really cute. Let's do a little black ribbon on this one. I'm gonna cut it in half. You can go the full length, but I was thinking this would be really cute to do a little wrap around. I need some glue. Ready? We're gonna do a little glue. I'm gonna wrap this bad boy around, make it straight. I need one more little glob of glue. Come on, fine motor skills. There, so that, so it's even. There we go. And then a little skull on there. Where's my, sorry guys. This is what happens. This is what it's like to live in this demented mind. I was like done. I was ready to go. But then we'll put a little skull. As soon as I turn off the camera, I'm gonna paint his little eyeballs. That's gonna happen because I just can't help myself. But anyway, very cute. See you.